Hence, I'm not sure, the signal is kind of spotty where I am. Um, but I wanted to talk about why men aren't dating you for marriage. And I talked about the fact that it's because they are taking your time due to the fact that you're making yourself too available, and you are creating too much room in your routine, too much space in your schedule, so men don't take you seriously. When a man is dating you for marriage, he needs to know that your time is valuable. Now, the reason why men aren't taking you seriously is you're not communicating that your time is valuable. You're overly available. And this also applies even when you are in a committed relationship. Because what tends to happen is you start to relax your boundaries to the point where you get disrespected. And this usually plays out when you are dating a partner that hasn't earned that level of exclusivity that you have so freely given to them. So maybe you're dating somebody that you just started talking to for a couple of weeks, you're already exclusive. They haven't earned that level of exclusivity. And the truth is, if you're finding yourself in this pattern of dating men that want to commit too quickly, then you are not dating men that want to marry you. When a man wants to marry you, he will take his time. And I'm not saying he will take forever, but there will definitely be a pace that supports what he is pursuing, that will indicate to you that he is seriously intentional about wanting to get to know you for exclusive commitment leading to marriage. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat because my signal is a bit spotty. Secondly, I said that men aren't dating you for marriage because you are easily led on. You follow any man that shows you interest. When I say follow, I mean you believe everything he says, you make yourself overly available, you give excuses for him, you explain away circumstances where it is clear that both of you are not aligned in your values. He's not taking you on dates, he's not showing you actions that are clearly indicating that he is interested in long-term commitment. He's not giving you his time. He's not creating an experience that is conducive for you. What I mean by that is he's not making you feel comfortable. You're constantly disrespected. He comes in and out of your life. That is not an experience that is conducive for a healthy relationship. And the problem with this is you are letting this lead you on. You are following these examples, and what happens is, as a result of that, you're going to be attracting men that do not want serious commitment because you are not available for that. You are literally entertaining men that want the exact opposite. They're not putting in time, effort. They're not making any consistent they're not doing anything consistently to show you that they are genuinely interested. Drop a yes in the comments if you can hear me. I'm not sure if this live is clear. Now, another reason men aren't dating you for marriage is you give too much permission. What I mean by that is you are always ready to forgive. You are always ready to accept their excuses for lying, cheating, manipulating you, gaslighting you. You are always making yourself available for excuses. You are just giving them too much permission. And when you give too much permission, you will not be pursued because there will literally be no point. So no man will want to pursue you because he doesn't need to. You're giving him permission to do whatever he wants, show up however he wants, be whoever he wants to be around you. Now, this is why when I'm working with my clients, I really like to focus on making sure that there is a strategy behind their pursuit. There is intention behind the way they make themselves available to men. There is a strategy behind how they position themselves so that they are not giving men permission to take them for granted. They are not giving men permission to treat them anyhow, to lie to them, cheat on them, manipulate them. And when you're attracting men that you're getting into a relationship with, you're going on dates with, but they are not dating you for marriage, it is because you've given too much permission in certain areas. You've either been too permissive for his lies, his disrespect, his manipulation, his cheating, or you've been too permissive for what you are willing to put up with in other areas that is translating on his end to mean he doesn't need to treat you like a true partner. So when you are dating to marry, you really want to be clear on your own end for what it looks like for you to be in a healthy relationship by making sure that you are positioning yourself strategically even when you are in a partnership with someone. So when I'm working with my clients, what I do is show them how to position themselves strategically by encouraging them to create more proactive intentional efforts on their partner's part. So it could be as simple as, letting their partner help them out with groceries, or suggest a couple of solutions for a particular work problem they have, or it could be planning a trip. it's important that you give men room to be proactive so that they have a desire to pursue. What I see, and the mistake I see a lot of women make, especially in the Christian faith, is you are giving so much permission. In other words, he can see you anytime, he can take you on dates anytime, he can cancel anytime, you're always okay with everything. So what you are doing is encouraging him not to pursue. And this is not going to make a man want to commit, and it definitely will make him want to get into marriage with you. Now, another thing that I would mention is there's too much availability on your end. And when you are too available, it creates a lack of desire on a man's end to want to commit. When you are making yourself, your resources, your time, your energy, your effort too visible all the time, it makes it difficult for a man to actually want to commit to you. So what I encourage my clients to do when we work together one-on-one is what I call value stacking. Value stacking simply means growing your level of level of visibility value wise in the relationship with time, so that in incremental measures a man can actually see how you are adding value to his life. Because as time passes, he sees that you've made his life easier, he sees that you've made things he sees that you've added value to the way he goes about his schedule. But if you do everything at once, it's hard for him to be able to really process the shift that you have made in his life. So what I show my clients how to do is value stack, which means that over time, progressively, your presence in his life can be visually seen and experienced on his end, because he can point and say, oh, since Jane came into my life, A, B, and C has happened. And that is how you create a desire to pursue. That is how you create the environment that encourages him to want to commit, because he can already see the tangible results of your presence. But what I see a lot of women do, the mistake I see you guys make, is give everything at once, do all the things at once, thinking that somehow it will communicate your value. Meanwhile, it has the opposite effect. It makes you look cheap. It makes you look too accessible, and it makes it look too simple for him to be able to get that level of access to you. So he would not even experience the value that you're bringing because of the way you're showing up in his life so forcefully. So inside the Dating to Marry program, when I work with my clients one-on-one, I show them how to value stack so that there is intentionality behind the way they show up in their partner's lives, the way they show up with the men they're talking to and they're going on dates with. And this will make you desirable for commitment leading to marriage. Now, the final thing I will say is for men aren't dating you for marriage because you are focused on quantity over quality. I was literally talking to a client about this the other day. We just started working together, and I was walking her through the process of how she needs to shift, through my one-on-one program, how we're going to shift the balance, so to speak, of how she is attracting, interacting, and dating men, so that it is actually leading her towards her marriage instead of keeping her from it. One of the ways you do this is focusing on quality over quantity. So it's not about how many relationships you've been in, how many men you're talking to, how many men have approached you. It's more about the quality of men that have approached you, you've dated, you've been in relationships with, and you are currently talking to. Quality is more important than quantity. At the end of the day, you're only going to marry one person. So literally, it's a quality. This process is all about quality. It's the quality of the person that you commit to. So it's not about meeting 5 men at once. It's about when you are meeting men, they should be matching at least 50% at the initial stage. So I make sure my clients get to a strong 70. I call it a strong 70%. So what that means is you should be attracting and you should be dating, getting into a relationship with a man that matches 70% of your list. That is the value that you should be able to attract in a healthy relationship leading to marriage. That is the kind of quality you want to attract that will lead you to step into marriage with the right person and will let you be pursued the right way. So when I work with my clients one-on-one, I show them how to attract that value. I call it a strong 70%, by building their list of qualities the right way, giving them strategies on how to attract that man in their day-to-day routine, online, and how they interact in their environment, so that they're creating opportunities to meet these men. And that's why my clients are successfully meeting men, getting into relationships, going on dates, and getting married within a year, whether they met them online or through a family friend or at work or at an event. It really doesn't matter. But the point is, because There's now a shift in their focus on the quality of men they are attracting as opposed to the quantity of men that they are talking to. It naturally creates more room for their husbands to step into their life. So it's important for you to focus on quality over quantity. You can have more men but less quality. And what that means is that's less likely to lead to marriage. So if you find that, oh, you're always in relationships, you're always talking to men, that's the problem. The problem is you just have too much quantity of men. You really need to refocus on how you can build the quality and the value of the men that you are attracting, which is what I walk my clients through by helping them to build their list the right way. Now, if you have any questions for me, I think the signal is stable now, thankfully. But if you have any questions for me, drop it in the question box. If you're a 30 plus Christian single woman that wants to work with me one-on-one, that wants to go from single to married within a year, you're tired of dead-end relationships, you're currently in a situationship, you have no idea what to do, but you know you are ready to date your husband, then definitely apply with the link in my bio and first tab for the Dating to Marry program, where I walk you through how to go from single to married in a year by showing you exactly how to get into a committed relationship leading to marriage, just like I've helped my clients do. But in essence, men aren't dating you for marriage because you are not making yourself available to step into marriage. You are devaluing your time a lot, like I've mentioned before. You are wasting your time on your own. Nobody's helping you because you are willingly giving it to a man that hasn't earned it, hasn't shown any interest in valuing it. You are committing too quickly. That's something else I see a lot of women do. A lot of you are committing to relationships within a month, within 6 weeks, which I do not recommend. I recommend dating and go, like when I say dating, I mean going on dates, getting to know each other, intentional, progressive effort on both ends before you step into commitment is very important so that the foundation of your relationship is strong. A lot of you are entering in and out of relationships within a 6-month time frame, and the reason that is happening is because you are committing too quickly. So the foundation of the relationship isn't strong. It's not because men are toxic, men are taking me seriously. It is literally because you're just committing too quickly. So there's not enough of a strong foundation for the relationship to be able to last. So when I'm working with my clients, I like to make sure that they are clear on their dating habits, because this is a habit problem. It is not a problem that has to do with your location, your age, your time. It is a habit problem. So I help my clients to clean up their dating habits so that they are dating in a way that complements getting into a committed relationship that would actually lead to marriage, not a committed relationship that will lead to a situationship or will lead to confusion, frustration, exhaustion. You want to be getting into a committed relationship that would actually lead to marriage, and the way you get there is by having a strong foundation through the dating process. So I literally walk my clients through step by step how to go on dates, how to talk to men, how to qualify men the right way, so that they are vetting men correctly to decide who they want to commit to. And even through that process, when you start vetting men correctly, men naturally desire to pursue, because when you are vetting, you are positioning yourself. In other words, you are only making yourself available for things that you want by virtue of the fact that you are vetting. In other words, you're checking the qualities this man has. You are you're paying attention, you're observing, you are looking for patterns in his behavior. So vetting is a really important process that will create opportunities for men to pursue. So when I work with my clients one-on-one, I show them how to vet so that when they're interacting with men and when they are conversing, connecting with men, it makes it simple for men to want to pursue them, to want to commit to them, because vetting is another way you communicate your value. And like I've said, it's important to value stack. You don't want to be giving everything at once. Yes, you're a great person, you're kind, you're generous, and so on and so forth. But all of that is irrelevant when you are dating to marry. What is relevant is how you make those qualities available to the men that pursue you and present themselves before you. Not every man that presents himself before you is going to pursue. But the problem I see here is a lot of you are assuming that every man that presents himself before you is trying to pursue you. And then you enter relationships you should never have entered into in the first place. You jump too quickly before looking at what exactly it is you're committing to. You make it too difficult for a man to see why he desires you. And this is how you make it difficult for men to date you for marriage. And this is exactly why men aren't dating you for marriage. Now, when we work together one-on-one, first thing I'm going to do is isolate exactly what you're doing wrong. I call it a stubborn experience. A stubborn experience is something that you've constantly experienced in all your relationships and you don't know why it keeps happening. Maybe your relationships always break up after 6 months. You haven't gone on a date in 6 years. Maybe you're really struggling to date as a single mom. You are just having a constant to get rid of and it's not going, and that usually is because you haven't identified the true root problem. So when we work together one-on-one, the first thing I do is identify your stubborn experience so that we can isolate the root problem and make sure you don't keep having it in repeated cycles. And then I show you how to now strategically position yourself so that you are visible to the right men. You are creating opportunities to connect with men that you can actually step into marriage with. And then finally, I show you how to choose your husband. I always say you get to choose your husband. I've not had a single client that has ever met one man that met her, that has just met one man that matched the quality she wanted. All my clients have always had a rotation of men that match the qualities they're looking for in a partner. And when I say rotation, I simply mean more than one. So you want to be dating in a way where you are constantly coming into contact with men that match the values you're looking for. And it's simply a game on your end of choosing who you want to commit to and why. And this is where the but yeah, I just wanted to do this live to tell you that men aren't dating you for marriage because of you. It's not them. There are certain things you're doing that are getting in the way for men to date you for marriage. There's no reason why men should be seeing you and should not automatically be clocking the fact that, oh, this is a woman of substance, this is a woman of value, even if he's just a friend, even if he's not interested in getting to know you on that level. Your value should be so tangible, should be so felt, that it is something that's communicated non-verbally. You don't need to be shouting, you don't need to be loud, because a lot of you are dating as introverts and you think that is that is part of the reason why you're still single. Meanwhile, your introverted nature is actually a strength. I show my clients how to date even with being introvert, because that shouldn't get in your way at all. If anything, it should make it easier for you to know the kind of characteristics that will complement your personality when you're talking to men, and it will highlight your communicating with men if you know how to use that quality correctly. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys. If you want to work with me one-on-one and you're a single Christian woman over 30 and you want to go from single to married in a year, you're stuck in a situationship, you're not particularly sure what you need to change in the way you're dating, then apply for my Dating to Marry program, where we'll be working together for 6 months to get you into a relationship leading to marriage in a year. The link is in my bio. You just click the link in my bio and the first step to apply. As soon as I get your application, within 24 hours, if you're the right fit, I'll hop on a call with you and we'll discuss exactly what you need to change in the way you're dating, how the Dating to Marry program is going to help you step into marriage by applying my proven strategies, and we'll get started right away. So I don't see any questions, so I have to go now. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.